Guys, it's me again. I wanted to talk to you all a little bit about depression and how I got to where I am now. Growing up, I never suffered from depression or anxiety or any of that. And they always told me that they were so proud of me because I didn't have it. Because I was missing my legs and I was missing out on school and I was missing out on everything else everybody else was doing. But I didn't have it. I was perfectly fine and with who I was and what was going on. Well, fast forward to 2000. Okay, we'll just go to high school. All through high school, well, 2 years through high school, I dated the love of my life. When I first met him, I was like, I'm going to marry that boy. I love him, and we're going to be together forever. So we were together for a few years, and then my senior year, he left me for another girl. And I was like, okay, well, that crushed me. But I was able to move on with my life still. And then a couple years later, he came back and we were together for 10 years, lived together. Everything, was going fine and dandy. We had no issues, never fought, never did anything. And November 13th, 2017, he got up and he's like, I'm going to my mom's. I'll be back in a minute. I was like, okay, this was nothing unusual. This was regular. I think it was a Sunday. It was a regular weekend thing. And I was like, okay, whatever. I was like, do you want me to go with you? He's like, no, it's fine. Just stay here and finish feeding the goat. And I was like, okay. Because I had Copenhagen in the house and he was still on a bottle. Then a few hours passed by and I'm standing in the kitchen doing the dishes. And he walks in and he sits down on the couch and he's like, I need to talk to you. And I was like, oh, Lord. He's like, I'm leaving. I'm moving back in with Mom. And I was like, okay. Is there a reason? Anything? He wouldn't tell me nothing. So all he did was follow me around like a lost puppy through the house, which was my house. So he had to get his stuff and get out. So he wouldn't talk to me or anything, so I got in my car and I had my pancake dog and my goat Copenhagen, the goat, in the house at the time. Well, nobody could come in my house if Pancake was out or the goat was out. So I was like, okay, I'll just leave them out. I couldn't take them both with me because that's what my plan was, to take them both, pick them both up, get them in the car, and just drive. Couldn't do that because I couldn't take both of them with me by myself. So I was like, okay, I'll leave them. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going. So I get in my car. He doesn't speak to me at all. He just follows me around while I'm crying. I get in my car and I drive. I'm like, okay, where can I go? So I call my sister and I go to her house. And I'm there for about an hour. And I was like, okay, that probably gives him time to, figure out what he's going to do and get what he needs out and all that. So my mom comes and picks me up and drives me back home. And we pass him along the way. And I think that's where it truly sunk in and broke my heart that he was gone, when he had his truck with his workbench and everything in it. So I get home and I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do now? So I start going through, looking to see what all he's taken. He's left all of his clothes, all of his work clothes. He left about 10 big trash bags full of clothes and things that he needed. But he left them folded neatly in the drawers like he was coming back. Well, that wasn't going to happen. So I packed all of his stuff and I threw it in the yard. And then my parents were like, no, you can't do that. Be the bigger person. So we packed it all up, put it in the back of my SUV, took it to his mama's house and put it on her front porch. Because that, I guess, is the adult thing to do. I liked the yard idea better, and that he could have came and picked it up, or we could have left it there and it could have got ruined. That was my plan. I really didn't care at that point. So I come home, and first thing I do is I don't hear any noise in my house, which was very unusual. So I start freaking out looking for Pancake and Copenhagen. Found them in their cages, like, what's going on, Mom? Where is everything? Who were these people that were in our house? he had taken everything but most of his clothes, and that's about it. But so he left. He pulled in while I was at his mom's house unloading his clothes, and he took off the other way. That's what led to my depression, is being like, feeling like you go from planning a wedding to just walking out with no reason. But since then, my depression has, like, it's been a roller coaster. My anxiety has been the worst it has ever been. I can't stand being around people out in public or anything like that. It just freaks me out. So yeah. But now I take multiple medications for both of those and for the bipolar. But what did it the most was not knowing why someone who supposedly loves you, who told you they loved you that morning, just walks out of your life like that. But I do kind of know why. But so his mom had begged him to move back in and leave me and everything because she was lonely because her husband worked nights. So that's another story. But she would ask him every day if he wanted to move back in. So I paid for his phone bill that he had while he was with me. And she did a factory reset on the phone, so she thought she erased everything off the phone and put it on my kitchen table with his keys. Little did she realize that all I had to do was type in his password, which I knew because it was my phone, and I could pull everything back up, along with the girl that he had been talking to. But you don't realize what you're doing to someone else when you do it. You don't realize the long-term effects of what you could cause. I mean, if he would have just been like, hey, this is why I'm leaving. No, the no explanation part is what kills me the most. And I kill myself daily just wondering why. But if you don't have enough love and respect for somebody to be straight up honest with them, then just you have no respect for yourself. Because if you would let somebody sit there and suffer, and I have suffered, more than suffered, trying to figure out why I wasn't good enough, why all of a sudden I wasn't what you wanted. And I know I'm rambling, but it's just so hard to explain and how everything. Well, along with that part, that's where my depression started. And then, like, it was November 13th, and I had Christmas orders out the butt to get finished. So in my planner, like, you open it up, and on December 26th, it said mental breakdown. I had scheduled a mental breakdown in my planner after I got everybody's orders done, after I had got everything done, and on December 20th, my parents literally drugged me into my doctor's office. All I could do was cry for the month and everything, and I could not function. I had to keep getting orders out, so I wasn't having time to grieve and to do what I needed to do. So I was doing that, and they took me in, and they're like, you've got to do something with her. I was like, I'm losing my mind. I'm just crying, and I'm crying, and I'm crying, and I can't stop. And, I mean, it was the worst time of my life. And even though, like, I still want to know why, but I'm over that. And I don't, like, it's not like I want him back that's keeping me, depressed and all that. I'm over that. It's the fact that he broke me. He didn't just break my heart. He broke me completely. And now you get to this feeling where, like, no, why would anybody want to love me? He was with me for 10 years, and he didn't even want to love me anymore. It's such a weird point to be at. And then you have all these trust issues that is a whole nother mess of things that I can't trust anyone now, because everyone, I feel like, is only out to benefit themselves. nobody really cares about me. And then, so that has been 3 years of my life. And then now with everything going on, I spent 3 months in bed. I still do the random crying every now and then because the depression does not go away. You feel like you're over it, and it'll sneak up on you at the least bit of time that you're not thinking about it, and you'll just be bawling. I was sitting in bed the other night just bawling my eyes out, and I just wanted somebody to come over and give me a hug and tell me it was going to be okay and sit with me while I cried. And I have nobody. Like, that's when you realize you really have nobody. Because the people I did text, they either didn't text me back or they were too busy. Like, if you all need someone, text me, call me, because I will be there for you. If it's on the phone, if I have to get in my car and drive to you, whatever it is, because I know what it's like to feel like you literally have no one. Like, I've spent the past 3 nights just crying, and I don't even know why I'm crying. I'm just crying. But also, with my recent doctor's visits, I've had a bunch of tests done because I have chronic fatigue. Like, I don't get out of bed unless I absolutely have to. So if you see me looking a hot mess in my giant oversized hoodie blanket, that's why. But I have hypothyroidism. They believe I have lupus. And they are still doing more tests to determine what else that I have that's causing my muscles and everything to go out of whack. I have chronic pain in my back and in my legs. I went to the chiropractor and they told me that my back looked like that of an 80-year-old woman who walked on concrete every single day, all day long. Like, and the doctors around here, they don't care. They're like, my pain management doctor's like, well, if you put on here that your medicine's not working, that's going to get me in trouble, and I'm going to get you in trouble for that. And I'm like, how, if it's not working, why do you want me to lie about it? Like, I'm not asking you to do anything else. I want injections is what I really want, but they don't want to do injections because I don't have insurance. So no matter what I do, I'm screwed. But I'm on 4 antidepressants and anxiety medications, 1 bipolar medication, and 3 medications for the muscle pain and all the pain. And they literally do nothing for me. But whatever. Yeah, so that's basically it. Still suffering from depression from 3 years ago. It's never gone away. And yeah. So, there's that. And I'm sure I'll be back shortly with another video. This is my life. Bye.